Hello, welcome. This is REITVShow.com. I am your host, John Zor, and we are at the end of the Foreclosure Summit here in Atlanta, Georgia. And again, I have had so many special guests on this week, but joining us is a very, very, very special guest, Mike Warren from Colorado, and the goddess. We were talking before, actually. I didn't tell you this
I'm
before.
not the goddess.
No, but everybody knows Vina. We were talking about you before because I never met Mike, and she said, all I know is that he's got a very, very interesting system. It's completely separate from my business. I have no clue, what you really do. But she said that this guy, he plays a very big game, bigger than most other investors, and I'm very, very, very excited to have you on the show. So welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Well, so for our viewers out there, would you just tell them a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm known actually as the judgment guy. I do a lot of things. I run a website called MISUniversity.com, stands for Multiple Income Streams University, and I like to specialize in a very, very small niche, extremely profitable, but it's a small niche compared to the big foreclosure market that everybody talks about. What I do is I like folks who go out and they buy all these foreclosures. Now, periodically, I'll buy my own foreclosures, so don't get me wrong. Foreclosures are great. I like to go about it a slightly different way. I want everybody, let's say you go out and you find a foreclosure property that you want to buy. I'm really happy to let you buy that property. You fund it, you rehab it, you resell it, you take all the risks, you do all this stuff. I want you to do that.
Okay.
Because would you say that a lot of these foreclosures out there, which are the result of somebody not paying on the mortgage, do you think it's possible that some of them may also have judgments against them?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And a judgment is nothing more than a lawsuit where somebody was sued for something and then it gets attached to the house.
Because we specialize in short sales, so I can think of, just off the top of my head, of about 3 or 4 cases where we actually had to pay judgments, like, electric bills and things of that nature. I don't really know what type of judgments that you deal with, and I'm really, really interested. My acquisitions coordinator actually got to sit in on your presentation. I actually got asked by Mr. Drew to go off, so I had to miss that. I'm really upset about that, so I'm looking to maybe catch you on, maybe your website, some recordings or something like that, because, like I said, this guy has some great information. So what kind of judgments do you look for?
Really, it's essentially, what I look for is where somebody was taken to court by somebody else. We're not looking at water, sewer, or electric. Okay? So those are typical liens. Okay. What I'm talking about is you took me to court because, let's say, I hit your car, and so you sue me to recover damages on your car. So you take me to court, you get a judgment. But I say I won't pay. Okay. So you actually can place a lien on my house. Now what that does for you, and you should write this down, is what that does for you is it now places a lien on the person's house where they cannot sell or refinance the house without paying you off. That makes it very powerful.
Interesting.
But it gets even better. What I do, let's say we go back to that example, you buy that foreclosure property, right? Mm-hmm. So you're buying the foreclosure, you know that there's a judgment on there. What I do, and what you all can do, is I go in and I gain control over the judgment that's on the property by doing something what I call my $1 option technique. Okay. My $1 option technique says I gain control of the judgment. I reserve the right to buy that judgment from the original creditor at some predetermined price. Okay. But now you're buying this foreclosure. When you go to buy it and get clear title so you can sell it to the new buyer, do you have to pay off the mortgages and the judgments that are on there?
Absolutely.
Right. So if I gain control over the judgment, guess what? You're paying me. Now, here's the key ingredient here, is that I'm only paying $1 out of pocket to gain control of this judgment. You pay it off at value, whatever I agree to buy it from the creditor for, and you're paying it off, I keep the difference.
Oh, wow. So you get this under contract for basically no money out of pocket. Right. You get it on an option, and when you specifically target properties that you know are about to be sold, and when they go to do the title search and your judgment pops up, they have to satisfy it and they have to pay you, and you then take care